These have been on for 8 straight days, and how I take them off in 4 minutes is the reason I can put on another set and get a whole nother 8 days out of it. If you've been staring at cluster lashes thinking, there's no way I could do that, I'd glue my eyeball shut, hi, this one's for you. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and I trained lash extensions while in cosmetology school, but I still do lash clusters on myself instead because extensions cost hundreds of dollars, half a day, and this is all you need, and it cost me roughly 26 bucks for everything here, and you get a bajillion uses out of it. We're going painfully slow today, and I mean that as a compliment. Removal, prep, application, and all of the retention tricks that nobody talks about in the 12-second TikTok videos. So stay with me for that one. And I'm going to talk about the one thing that every beginner does wrong. That means the lashes either fall off in 3 days or they're wanting to rip them off within hours. So let's start by removing my old set. I'm going to be using the Mascara remover. Mascara remover. It is like a bi-phase product, which means you have to shake it up really good before you use it. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to take a Q-tip and I'm going to saturate said Q-tip with the remover, and I am going to rub that remover underneath and on top. This is a very oily product, so it might make you feel a little bit blind. There's a chance that it'll sting a little bit. It doesn't usually sting my eyeball, but it's stinging me a little bit today. I don't know, now it's not stinging at all. And I'm just gonna let that sit and marinate for a second. I like using the Mascara remover like this. This is my preferred method of using it, letting it just kind of sit on the lashes for a little bit. However, with how much my eyes are stinging this time, literally, it's never done that to me before. It's because I'm trying to film this video that it's stinging my eyeballs today. The actual instructions on the Mascara remover says to saturate a cotton pad with it and like place it on the lashes and hold your eye closed. But in the past, I've had better luck with like saturating the Q-tip and letting the remover just soak and marinate into my lashes. I want to talk about other removers that I have seen and or used. With my very first lash cluster kit, I may or may not have tried to say that like 3 or 4 times and stumbled over it every single time. It comes with a remover. You'll see that a lot, like you're purchasing the tweezers, the bond and seal, the lashes. In the kit, they'll chuck in a little remover, something like this. And this is what I was using to get off my lash clusters. It worked just fine, but I really liked glopping it on there and getting a good amount of the remover so that it fully dissolved the glue and helped them come off. So I was going through these really fast and I was repurchasing them, and this was the most expensive thing because I was going through it so quickly and having to repurchase so often. Goodness, I feel like I've seen these for $16, $15 on the Amazons. Just this tiny little tube, like so. There's like these little ridges on it, and that's how you like coat the remover onto the lash clusters. So I ran into Sally's wanting to pick up one of these because I had run out and didn't want to order it and wait a few days because the lash clusters I had on my eyeballs were ready to come off. And the lady at Sally's said, sorry, we don't have anything like that, but we do have Mascara lash cluster remover. I was very skeptical. I thought there is no way on God's green earth that this is going to take off my lash clusters. And I thought that because in the past I had tried like waterproof makeup remover to take off lash clusters. It didn't work at all. It was bad, but I decided to try it because I was a little bit desperate to get that particular set of lash clusters off my eyes. It worked so well. I did follow the instructions on the packet that say saturate a cotton pad, leave it on your eyeball, then take it off. But lately I've been soaking the Q-tip in the Mascara remover, rubbing it on, letting it sit and marinate. Then once it's had a few minutes to sit, I like to massage it in even further. So kind of just rubbing that remover even deeper into the lash glue and the cluster lashes. That's how easy they come off when you use this remover. Yeah, they're just falling off my eyeball now. And these are a little gross because they've been on my eye for a while. So pardon that, but you can see, hold on, let's do this better. But you can see that there is no lashes, like my natural lashes, stuck to these bad boys. Let me show you some more. They're a little gross. Again, I'm sorry, they're so crusty and dusty. That's actually 2 stuck together. Now on my natural lashes, you can see that there is still a little bit of that glue stuck. Oh, and there's like a random lash stuck to my face. That's nice. This is my best angle, in case you were wondering. Getting just a little bit more of that remover and rubbing it on the lashes very gently. I feel like I noticed more eyelash shed when I would use the cotton round. Like maybe I was getting a little too aggressive with the cotton round. Now that I use my fingers, I can feel how hard I'm rubbing. We're just very gently massaging to dissolve the rest of that glue, get it all off. And I've talked about this before, but if you're brand new here, hi, my name's Courtney, and usually I talk all things wavy curly hair. That is what Swavy Curly Courtney is for on the internet, S-Wavy, Swavy. And I have talked about that lately I'm going through some hormone shifts that are elongating my curl pattern, making my curls stretch out. So my hair used to be far curlier, and now it is way less curly. I've also noticed with said hormone shifts that my eyelashes are completely different. I used to have very long, very thick natural lashes, and with these hormone shifts, I feel like I've lost a lot of my lashes. So I was spending hours, not hours, but way longer than I wanted to on mascara application in the morning because I was trying to get my lashes back. I was trying to feel like I did when I was, I don't know, 10 years younger and had better lashes. It was just taking way too much of my day in the morning, putting on mascara only to be disappointed with how short, stubby, and sparse my natural lashes had gotten. That's when I started playing around with lash clusters, because the idea of applying these once a week and not having to worry about mascara application in the morning took some off of my mental load. It made my life a lot happier and easier. Okay, now that I have finished massaging that in and I can feel with my fingers that all of that glue is fully dissolved, I'm going to wash my face with my favorite cleanser of the moment. It's the Vanny Cream Gentle Facial Cleanser. Make sure that everything is really clean and really dry, and I'll be right back. Okay, I did have to cleanse my eyeballs more than once. Much like double cleansing your hair gives your hair a really, really clean, fresh base, lashes are the same way. I scrubbed underneath and on top, rinsed really well, and then did it again so that everything is incredibly squeaky clean. You can't hear them squeak, but they are squeaking clean and they are completely dry. Did I grab my Lash hair dryer, set it on cool, and dry my lashes a little bit more? Why, yes, I did. And this is what I am talking about when I say that, like, I swear it's perimenopause or something. Hormone shifts are, I have no lashes anymore. This happened long before I started wearing lash clusters, but when I put mascara on, they look just about as good as they did before I started wearing lash clusters. So there's that. I am not ripping out my natural lashes, and it's all about how you remove. If you remove slow and gentle with the right product that dissolves the glue properly, it'll help a lot. Also, P.S., I have a background in chemistry. I'm supposed to be your friendly local high school chemistry teacher. That's what I studied in college. Using something that will chemically break down the adhesive properly makes wearing lash clusters feasible. Okay, now that the lashes are completely prepped and completely dry, let's run through the rest of the supplies that you will need. You will need lash clusters. These are what I mean when I say lash clusters. These are the B&Q. I will have everything linked in the description down below, but you can see that they are a straight lash band. Also, they look a little terrifying in the pan. Is this pan? They look a little terrifying. They look really crazy dramatic. But for me personally, I want something that balances like drama and natural. I, while wearing these, have been asked what lash serum I'm using because my lashes look so good, and I laugh and very sweetly tell them that it's fake, that I glue fake hair to my eyeballs. But when I'm wearing these and absolutely not a stitch of makeup on my face, I feel like it works. It's not too dramatic for no makeup. Or I can do all the foundation, the contour, the blush, the eyebrows, the lips, everything. Do a full beat, as the kids would say. I don't think the kids are saying that anymore, but I can do a full face of makeup and the lashes fit with that as well. Or at least I think they do. This is what I feel comfortable with. Finding the right style of lash cluster is like finding your favorite pair of jeans. You kind of have to try on a few sets and see what fits you best. I have tried the viral TikTok glow vein that are like the curved lash band that somehow magically makes these a million bajillion times better. That is what they look like. And I can't remember what style these are. And I haven't tried every style of glow vein, but these didn't give me enough. I didn't feel like they were dramatic enough. They looked too natural, which, I mean, you may want too natural. So in that case, try glow vein. But they were also more expensive. These are like $8 on Amazon. These I think were 20 something, and that was just the lashes. Also, when I showed you the remover, I have tried Airy Cute. Those were the ones with like the clear lash band, and they were brown. Again, way too subtle for me. Apparently, I like more drama than that. I used to be a brown mascara girly, like natural, really wanted brown mascara to make my blue eyes pop, but for whatever reason, when it comes to lash clusters, I want them black and a little dramatic. And let's talk about the Bond and Seal. Now, a lot of these lash kits that you can pick up on Amazon come with their own Bond and Seal. And honestly, they're pretty good. They're not terrible, but after reading a bajillion, I like that word apparently. I just keep saying bajillion all the time in this video. This is the one I landed on trying like all by itself. I have tried another one and I wasn't terribly impressed by it, but this particular lash Bond and Seal makes the lashes stick really good. It like the best of any lash Bond and Seal I have tried. This has kept the lashes on the longest. I do tend to prefer a band that looks like this, a wand something. It's very short and slightly curved. And I like it when the sealant has that round fluffy ball on the end. It makes using the sealant easier. Also, with the glue being black, that may feel intimidating to you. You may feel like you want the clear lash glue. I haven't found a clear lash glue that sticks really well. And have I tried the ones on TikTok where the girl is like gluing lashes on her hand and then scrubbing them after putting like makeup and foundation and powder and sunscreen on it? Yeah, I've tried those. Those don't stick that good. I don't know how they get that to stay like that on TikTok. But these work really good. These stay very, very well. The black tends to stick better. Also, it gives a little bit more drama at the lash line, which apparently is something I want. The last thing you're gonna need is a really good pair of tweezers. I like these. I do have other kinds that I have tried, and I don't love these as much. These are on the thicker side in comparison to my favorites. I don't feel like I can be as accurate or precise with them. These are a little bit more accurate, but not quite. The ends of these are actually really smooth, and I've like had lashes slip through the end of them. These, on the other hand, look like some sort of weapon, like I could stab you with it. Oh, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. The video might get demonetized. But the ends are kind of grippy. There's little ridges on here. They grab really well. They're very sharp. They're very small. They're very precise. I get a really good application of lash cluster with these. Now, let's talk about lash map, which is what everybody talks about. What's your lash map? Guys, it took me way too long to figure out what the heck that meant. All it means is the numbers that you use. So typically people talk about their lash map starting from, I believe, the outside corner of their eye, working inwards. People use varying amounts of lash clusters. Some people use 4, some people use 5 clusters, some people use 6. 6 feels like a lot. I personally use 4 lash clusters. And for the longest time, I thought you had to use like the longest ones and work your way to the smallest ones. You do not. My personal favorite lash map is 12 on the outer corner, 14, so slightly longer in the next one over, 14 again, and then another 12. It creates like a doe eye effect, but I have really almond shaped eyes, so the doe eye effect looks really cute on me. I have another hack for you. You know how I talked about the glow vein lashes being curved and how that like sits better on your eye because your eye is curved? Your eye goes like this. So the whole idea behind glow vein is that they're curved and they fit your eye better. I actually curve my own lashes. So I will take this one with a very straight lash band. With my very straight lash band, I'll hold it with my little nubby of a finger here, like so. Just kind of like pinch it down with my fingernail, grab my lash tweezers and bend the lash band. See how that kind of fans out the lash a little bit? Is this excessive? Yes. Am I cheap? Yes. I don't want to pay all that extra money for bent lashes that aren't quite what I want, that are not fluffy enough. See, this is the one that I have bent, and this is the one that I haven't bent yet. See how the lashes are more fanned out and fluffy, and the band itself is like holding that bent shape. These are the 12s. So I have my outer and my inner corner. I hold it with my little fingernail and just slowly kind of bend the band with my tweezers. It does not have to be perfect. I don't have to get the perfect 45-degree bend on them in order for them to look right. If I kind of bend it a little bit, it tends to be pretty forgiving. That was a 14, and I'm going to grab one more 14 here. Fan it out a little bit and fluff it. So to go on my eye, I will do a 12, a 14, another 14, and a 12. I'm going to grab another 12. This is going to be for my other eyeball. Bend it a little bit. And I kind of stick my fingernail a quarter way across the lash band, bend it, scooch it to about halfway, bend it, scooch it to 3/4 of the way across. And I do like 3 parts where I'm sticking and holding with my fingernail. See how fluffy that makes it? See, it's not like that's not fluffy, but that's more fluffy. And doing them like this and fluffing them out allows me to get away with 4 lash clusters instead of having to glue on 5, because I get more fanned out coverage of the lashes. And you'll see that when I go to stick them on my eye. There we go. We have a 12, a 14, 14, 12. Now, for comparison's sake, I am going to plop one of these glow vein on here. You can see that the lash band is kind of curved, but it's still pretty straight. And for comparison, here's another B&Q before I bend the band. You can see that it's straight, whereas the glow vein is curved. Also, the B&Q have like a black lash band. I don't mind that. Again, a little bit more drama and definition at the lash line. The glow vein are clear, which makes them look almost more transparent and see-through, which you may like. I personally thought I would like that better too. Like, more natural is more better, but apparently not. Apparently I like a little bit more drama. All right, now let's get to the really scary part, and that is actually gluing hair on the eyeball. So I'm going to take my Bond and Seal. This stuff is very, very sticky. And here is the thing that most beginners screw up. it's the thing that I screwed up. They take the lash glue and they think, I'm gonna apply this like mascara, and they wipe it through the entire lashes. Do not do that, ever. Not only will your lashes not last because there's almost too much glue, you're gonna have your eyeballs stick together. Too much glue. You don't need that much. Less is actually and truly more in this situation. So what I like to do is very gently lift my lashes up and tap and wiggle right at the base. And you're thinking to yourself, there is no way that is going to be enough glue to hold the lashes in place for an entire week. It is. Less is more. Tap, wiggle. Tap, wiggle. Tap at the very base. Do not pull it through. Don't you do it. I'm watching you. I can see you thinking you want to pull it through. No, you don't. Now that that's applied, I'm going to take my first pre-bent 12. I need this mirror closer. I'm getting old. And we're just praying that I am in frame. And underneath, you are going to not stick it all the way in your outer corner. You want to see 3 to 4 to 5 of your natural lashes sticking out on the outside corner. Stick it right where your lashes are growing out of your eyeball. You do not want to stick it on this wet part. If you mess up and you don't place it well, that's okay. You can very gently grab it and slide it off. It has not been sealed. It won't pull your lashes off, but gently stick it on. Close your tweezers and press up from the bottom. Now we're gonna grab the next lash, which is our 14, and we're not gonna overlap. I find that when I overlap my lashes, they come off faster because the entire lash was not in contact with some of that bond that I placed. Going with another 14, do not overlap. Stick all the way at the bottom, close the tweezers and press. Last one, right on the inner corner, but also I don't take them all the way to the inner corner because they stab you and poke you every time you blink. Now we're gonna go in with the seal, fluffy ball, lift the lashes up and just draw underneath. In my previous video, I talked about how I take the ball and rub it on top. And you can do that, but this stuff is kind of like glue. If you touch the tops of the lashes with it on accident, it makes them like crusty. Right now, they're fluffy, delicious, and beautiful. So instead, to get some seal on the top of my lashes, I'm going to coat my tweezers with some of that sealant, and then with the delicacy of 1,000 handmaids, I'm going to squeeze these lashes shut with the seal, making sure to avoid the tips of my lashes like my life depends on it. My life does not depend on it. This is cluster lashes. This is not that serious. There you go. One eye done. Isn't that crazy? What a difference that makes. And now I'm good for another week. Something about lashes in cosmetology school that I really hated, and this is just my personality. There are some people who love like meticulous detail work, and I am more than happy to give that kind of detail and precision to a haircut. I don't know why it doesn't bother me when I can spend like an hour and a half cutting someone's hair to the absolute perfection. It doesn't take me an hour and a half. That's me like tweaking and fiddling. You know what I mean? Anyway, I couldn't stand trying to glue a single hair to a single lash for the lash extensions in cosmetology school. I was really good at it, but I just didn't have the patience. Now I'm taking the bond, same thing. Do you see how it's not going through the tips of my natural lashes? Like you can barely see it on there. It is right at the base, but not on the waterline. And another thing, after I washed my face, I put 000 lotion or eye cream or anything on my eyeballs. You want everything bone dry. Ideally, if you can stand it, avoid putting eye cream or face lotion close to your eye for at least 12 hours so that the glue and the bond and seal can fully cure and fully set. Did a number 12, left about 3 or 4 lashes on the outer corner. Now I'm going in with the 14. We are not gonna overlap, barely tap it. And you see how I'm holding my lid so that if I try and blink, these lashes don't quite touch my lower lashes. That bond is very sticky. Holding your eye open just for a little bit while you get these stuck on can be really helpful. If you do feel like you blink and close your eye fully and the bond and seal, the bond grabs your lower lashes, don't panic. It's okay. If you don't get sealant on it, you can just pull it off. It's like gummy. It's easy to remove. And my last 12. Press from underneath, press everything in, grab the sealant, run it underneath. And you can't see this, but I will show you real quick. I have my mirror right here. I place the mirror so that I can look down into it. Looking down into it allows me to see up at an angle into my eyeball. And I can really see exactly where I'm placing everything. And I'm even doing this like kind of far away because I'm trying to stay in frame over here for you guys. Whereas like when I'm doing this off camera, I get my face really close. Coating my tweezers with the seal. I have a good goopy layer underneath. And then with all the precision I can muster, very carefully clamp some of that sealant on the top and the bottom. And there you have it. I have timed it when I am not filming it. I can do this in 5 minutes. Now, that's on a really good day where like my hands aren't shaking and I'm being super, super precise. If I have a day where I'm like having to adjust where I put a lash and like move it a little bit, it'll take me upwards of 10 minutes, but that's the max. And that is the minimum it was taking me to put on mascara in the morning. That was a good mascara day if it only took me 10 minutes to get mascara on my eyeballs because I was being so fidgety with it and like annoyed and wanting it to be perfect, and I couldn't get it perfect because I had 3 eyelashes left after hormone changes. If you've made it this far into Courtney's university style course on lash clusters, congratulations. Frequently asked questions, rapid fire. Can you get these wet? Yes, I would try and keep everything absolutely bone dry until 12 hours. And then after 12 hours, I feel like the lash glue has fully cured, fully set. It will feel like slightly sticky, slightly tacky until it's fully cured. So once it stops feeling sticky or tacky, you know it's fully cured, you can wash your face. Here is what I do. I typically wash my face really, really good at night, apply the lash clusters, then I put on my moisturizer, and I'm very careful to like avoid my eye at all costs so that the moisturizer doesn't travel to the glue, make the glue gummy and come off. Then the next morning, it's clearly been 12-ish hours since I've applied them, I wash my face as per usual. I don't get soap right up on the lashes. I will like remove makeup if I apply concealer everywhere, but you don't scrubby scrub on the lashes. Then when you're drying your face, this is a, oh, that was loud. This is a really good hack. You go to dry your face with your towel. Take your lashes and blink down onto the towel to dry the lashes. That way you're not like smushing them or pulling them while that glue is wet. It gives that glue a chance to like dry and reset down. Why are y'all dropping? It's my stand, guys. This is terrible. It's going down again. You're going down. Can you sleep on your face? Like full face in a pillow at night? Yes, you can, but this can sound funny. I'm a side sleeper, and when I go to lay down and side sleep, I make sure that I'm not smashing the lashes down on my pillow. I kind of smash the lashes up. And that's a lot to think about while you're sleeping at night, but I found that I do it subconsciously now, and it doesn't disturb my sleep. Do not reuse clusters that have sat on your eyeballs for a week. Throw those away. Do not reuse. Get a fresh set every week. If you've wanted to try lash clusters, girl, you got this. Carve out some time in the evening after washing your face. Give yourself some grace, put on a podcast, listen to some relaxing music, and go slow. You can put these on. These are worth it. These are incredibly helpful to me. I sure hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, please do all the things, hit all the buttons, like, share, please subscribe. I'd love to see your bright and shining face here again on the YouTube channel. As always, I sure hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. That was so close and so awkward.